time, the wait is over. The pistol on our first, NaVi Astralis, but the script has changed. It's 2022, IEM Cologne, and already with an attacking start, Astralis stampeding towards Bit's domain. He'll forego control. We'd love to hear those guns and steps. And I'm sure Bit can hear an awful lot because he's been run on down. Hits the first. Farley as well needs to do something. And I wish we could hear this game sound. Cologne, you're going to have to make the gun sounds for us in a 4-on-4. Tap it away is one, a nice from Blame. They'll swing in through. Perfecto keeps them at bay. 3-on-3. Simple back on the Julie. 2-on-2, it never ends, and they've lost the bomb. Glaive's master plan revolved around them surviving, and now it gets awkward for the Danish leader. No armor, and I assume no hope. No hope at all. Door dead, and that's NaVi's round in the pocket, and it's 3 out of Simple. He's starting as he means to go on.
And this is what we want to see out of the big man himself. CT side, pissed around, they come rushing, they come knocking, trying to use the crowd in their favor with a fast one. Astralis, Yanko, he was building a bit of a laundry list of what they need to go right, and a hot start, that would have been one of them at the tippy top, a pistol. A great way to kick it off here on your map choice, a comfort pick. The Des discussed that in length. But 7 on the trot now, the win streak that Astralis have been able to accrue. It's just a bit of a lighter round here. It's just Blame F on the dig, the only one that should pose too much of a threat.
You know, these Danes have got pretty dangerous deeds, but...
Yeah, he's already down to 26 points of health here. So this is just going to be a bit pedestrian. I guess we can chit-chat about how the fact that they're here to play spoiler. We're in the collision course right now. I think everybody here tomorrow would love to see a bit of a NaVi taking on FaZe Grand Final in a best of 5 to decide who is truly the best in the world going into the break.
My question to you is, that T-side we saw from Astralis yesterday on Nuke impressed me. Did it impress you enough to think we could have competition here on our first map?
I think Farley, out of all of it, regardless of the way that they approached it, impressed me with a bit of resurgence here. But over to Bit, let's see if he can farm up some. Simple, he's here to feed. Picks up the first, chimes in with Bit, and they're going to get this one done and dusted. Blame coming through late. Yeah, the digger we highlighted, but not going to get this one done. Just 1 kill in the second round to play, but we know what that means. The AKs coming out into the next. It's a clean start, realistically, right? That ramp rush, they dealt with it, they denied the plant up against a very light purchase into the second of just a $700 deagle, and now, well, look at what Glaive's invested in here, Alex. Might be quick, might want to operate with some pace, knowing they're up against a bit of a bonus here. Simple with an interesting purchase too, with the AUG and 3 towards Yard in the early stages. Straight out hut, they want to hit this one quick.
This is so fast. Blink and you miss it, already into the site. Perfecto, unable to put up a fight.
Play retake here, they weren't even responding to top. They're expecting something a little bit standard, so setting up now for the post plant can be Astralis. 5-on-4 advantage, but a bonus round.
Locked out, Chad.
They can give this one a crack, right? You got the MP9 on Bit. They're going to drop out the one-way here, see what they can find. Also, doing a bit of damage to Astralis in a round like this, forcing out the rebuys. That could be hot to trot as well.
Yeah, and every frag is golden.
Okay. Well, it looks like they're going to play their game early here. So simple stuff. It hasn't been a lot of action in the first 3 rounds of play. But the crowd cheers signify one thing, the NaVi save.
Well, you've definitely done something right if you win the round with a single kill. That's for sure.
Well, this is the thing. You can see NaVi, they're in a bonus round. Traditionally, you're not just going to play a standard round. 2 top, 1 ramp, and 2 players combining towards Yard, because you have a bit lighter weapons, right? You're going to do a play to get ahead of their move. Are you expecting them to do a smoke wall Yard? Are you going to get the MP9 up close and personal? And it's a bit of a gamble in the decision-making right there. So NaVi, they picked wrong, and Astralis, well, Glaive off to a good call out the gates here, and he can retain that Mac 10 for something a little bit faster into round number 4.
Yeah, I think Glaive is such an interesting conversation. I mean, the greatest to ever in-game lead in Counter-Strike. There's no doubt about it. He's done things no other in-game leader has, and the fact that, you know, we're hearing from Config, we're hearing from Blame that this is the best they're played since their signing. It's exciting.
It's really starting to click for them here. Well, standard this time round, not just going to be the top pop and the smoke wall up. Farley leading the charge. That's not a bad nade, and that is fantastic from SDY.
And look at this. Config's got 2 on his screen. Does manage to find the 1, but that's a double now for SDY. Top site is on lock under his watch.
Look who's already down lower here. Responding to this early will be Electronic. newly dubbed in-game leader of this team, will have to defend against the bomb-trotting Enclave and Ziplet's back.
Yeah, Electronics always willing to take that duel head-to-head, and it will just be the head on this fight, just the tip as...
He'll spot the bomb here.
Ooh, that's info. And safety. He wants to keep this numbers advantage. He's not taking an unfavorable duel when he doesn't have to. Blame lurking.
They're not accounting for Blame right now. This is drawing a whole lot of the rotation. This is standard. CT's taking lobby control. It's all about how much space Blame can get here. The other two just have to survive during all of this.
You know NaVi are wise to his tricks, though. Simple's working it out as well. Blame dead. Fate sealed by the Simple Org, and it running out of options now as they're not clearing their corners. Bit farms up $600 on the SMG, make it 12. Some quick maths and a quick kill. NaVi immediately right the ship. And you think about it, Chad, they've only had that one death on Perfecto. Everything else, it's all been one-way traffic.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's dangerous that NaVi conceded a 4-on-5 retake opportunity in the third round of play. That means that they're going to do everything by the book. They're not going to have any issues. Yanko was pointing out the fact that Astralis played on the stage yesterday, right? They're already acclimatized to this environment, but NaVi having no dramas here whatsoever. But we are back into the buys without the plant Astralis can afford. Default spread here with not a whole lot of yard presence. We saw Config absolutely destroy Torji from top silo yesterday. Let's see if he can do it again, as they've actually juggled the Org across the bit. So might lull them in here to think that it's Simple towards ramp in the early stages, freeze him up with the AK-47 to stay extremely mobile. Yet to die, of course.
3 AK-47s, Chad. That is scary. One-shot headshot, supposed to be an advantage for the attacking team. Not so much with 3 scavenged AK-47s.
And no real AWP to worry about for either team. They right the scope. I don't think he's going to be moving too far from ramp unless forced by the rotations. And speaking of which, here comes a smoke wall from Astralis. Waited up the default util for the first 55 seconds and now lining up the execute. Zip going to do it all here. Picks up the second smoke and drops another.
I mean, NaVi will only have flashbangs to contest for info.
But Electronic hasn't moved. He'll get all the info off of this if they come his way.
Yeah, and that flashbang to facilitate it. Look at this. This is exactly what NaVi have been doing for years on yard, but nothing to report. They still don't know. Oh, he's positioned well. Electronic the first. Anticipates and decimates. Config's gone, and the round fading now for Astralis. 30 seconds, they're already limping. A 2-man advantage for this defense.
It's save or go B. There's no options here. You try and go around to heaven or hell, you're just going to get absolutely mauled as you go up the ladder. So it has to be towards this lower side.
And look who's waiting. The desk discussed it. And Bit pops the head of Farley. Options limited. And look how clean. NaVi, pedal to the metal. When they respect their opponents. That was what the desk said. They talked about it. When they respect you. Oh, thanks, man. Yo, much love. Come find me later. But seriously, NaVi, they just go up to another gear. When they think they've got an opponent that they respect, they just turn it up to 11.
How many risks did you think they took in that round? Absolutely none. Everything was facilitated by a flash or good positioning, so this is great stuff. And back to pistols here for the Danes. They need to find something early, and this could be a bit of a fire starter. Some Tech 9, some Deagles, a little bit of util. And quick towards yard, but the nade drops, the damage done, and that is, a massive gap in the smoke.
Oh, it's lost its polish, Chad. It's lost its polish. But they do manage to at least weather the barrage and will live on in what still counts as a 5-on-5. Admittedly, don't forget, just pistols. There's not much of a voice in this one. I say it as Config drives Bit out of the round. Bouncing as he tries to draw the crosshair. Simple trying to be a turret. There is a recovered M4 now on Farley. Simple 9-0. Will he stay indomitable, immortal, in the cathedral, dinked, surely dead, as this gets scary? Bomb ticking, kits are present. NaVi not looking to rush things here. Farley called upon here, he had a good game. More redemption in the play, puts Electronic down. NaVi, they pull the plug. Astralis, battered and bruised on the cross, but into the sight off the back of Config.
Exactly what they needed here. You can see Bit a little bit overwhelmed by the pace. All 5 down, had to worry about single door, had to worry about the window, but this is what you want from the Danes early. This is going to build some confidence here. A great round to pick up. You don't even want to talk about the financial ramifications of that because it was just a very light purchase. So great stuff to bite back early because NaVi, they were looking clean. And this is the opening from Config here. Beautiful stuff. Farley is, yeah, it has to be discussed, right? You can't not talk about the resurgence he had on map number 2 yesterday. He turned it around. You can see Config getting in there with some early celebrations. Team able to capitalize off the back of that opening here. And now game on. AWP out for Simple. He's been great. Now he's got his signature weapon, the best CT-sided player in the world on Nuke. Actually, just the best player in the world. We should probably stop it there.
Yeah, just put a full stop there. And, well, they put a stop to that smoke. Glaive, very, very loud, aggressive, and Perfecto deals with it. Oh, no one can pass. Perfecto mixing it up. Knocks 2 heads. Oh, make it 3. Perfecto, top sight, spotless defense. Just as Astralis had something to celebrate.
Zip with it all to do here. He knows where 1 is. The sound cues and trying to focus in on this fight. But again, a flash.
Playing with their food, a NaVi.
He might get a plant here. I don't think they can stop him. This would be a great plant here from Zip. Perfecto trying to chase, faking out the door, and here they come. Perfecto's going to get drawn into this, but takes the space required.
Yeah,
now I don't think he has that chance.
It gets awkward. Bit doesn't miss these, and he delivers.
All right, well, it's going to get a bit rough out here for Astralis if the only type of rounds they're going to be converting are the lighter buys with the Tech-9s and a bit of pace. It's hard to replicate that. Again, the financial situation, not a drama. They should be able to get into a buy here, but taking the time out to discuss their options. And this is great from Perfecto, right? This is not the guy necessarily at the tip of the tongue, but locking down the top site here with ease, partnership with SDY. These are going to be 2 very solid individuals that you're not going to have to worry about making too many mistakes, and not players you're going to exploit either.
It's a very unique set of circumstances for SDY. To be plugged into the world's best team, or up for debate here in Cologne, but one of them, we'll find out in that grand final should they get there. But to be plugged into it, you know, it's such an upgrade, the atmosphere, the communication, the personalities, and he has done what, you know, I would argue is difficult to do. He's just managed to not get in the way and do his best work.
It's fortunate, right, that Electronic was happy to take that in-game leadership role, because if that didn't happen and they had to try and fill that void, they would have real issues. But the fact that that's just been handed through and you saw Blade there with all the papers, I want someone to do a no-tail, come out with a massive stack like they did in Dota against one of those teams in the International against NaVi, because at this point it's starting to look like a bit of a meme. But they haven't invested here, Astralis. Thought they might have had enough. Maybe they want to get that Farley AWP out to try and contest against Simple here. It's going to be Blame. He has been an absolute force for Astralis. He's the superstar of this team, and he might be able to crack things open with the AK.
Yeah, smoke successful, Config spotted. He's not going to brave a repeat. I know I wouldn't fancy my chances. Pot shots taken, Simple. Firing into the obscurity of the smoke, and actually ahead of the flame is Glaive. It's going to fade. And through.
Okay, safe. And Blame's down with the AK. They did find a weakness before when they were fast. This time it's a little bit slower, so Electronic has time to set up.
And set up he shall. Slither gap held as he repositions. Astralis none the wiser. Zip, Farley, combine and take him down. The site open for business if Bit can't get anything done. It's Glaive with his first frag on the stage here in the semi.
That'll be it again. There's no way back in. They keep playing the percentages here, NaVi. They're not going to attempt to go for retakes like this unless Astralis give over a little bit too much. Simple spotted that. They know that Config's coming through main, so would have been a chance there. And seen him again. They don't want to walk past that scope twice. Config goes down, but it's not the conversation. The round is done. And Astralis continue to buck the odds as far as the rounds look. It should have been a NaVi round. Again, Bit looking flustered in that rotation. Electronic caught off when he could have had a couple. So maybe a slower start here from Electronic with these rotations. It looked like the positioning over towards Decon was nice, but settled on the vent, and always a hard fight to take. But keeping it competitive. This is what you want to see from Astralis here. A comfort map for them. Already 3 rounds to the good. If they can start stringing something consecutive together, so far it's just been spotty rounds. Haven't been able to put 2 on the board and connect those dots, and oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is twice now. Just as Astralis look like they're about to be running into a brick wall, they call themselves out of trouble.
Yeah, an immediate timeout back from Blade here. So you know what he's going to have to say about this. Just both Bit and Electronic with very similar looks there. The hands to the back of the head tonight. Yeah, that could have been our fault. Gonna fix this one here quickly as Blade, the mastermind, being quite the figure over there. I would say he's becoming as recognizable as the players for his prowess in this position, right? The coaching role is always a bit of mystery, but it's quite clear what Blade brings. The prep is there. There's always a game plan. The players are always talking about it. With some teams, like, yeah, our coach is there. But with Blade, he definitely gets the props that he deserves. Coach of the year in 2021.
And just, you know, his read of the game is spoken in many ways, but one of which is his ability to find talent. Look at this roster. I mean, he's been responsible for pulling Bit, Electronic, Simple into that black and yellow jersey. And so we're into round 9. Astralis, they have put up a fight. Yet to see a full commitment from the defense, though. NaVi playing the percentages. Battle of chess with explosives and Kalashnikovs. Different look this time.
They're going to test Bit here. It has been a little bit shaky. So on the rotation, caught him off guard. This time, a heads-up fight.
Oh, he smoked it, but I think they're ahead. Yeah, straight through. Oh, and a shot straight into the head as well. It's Config, another opening. Can they convert, though? NaVi have had a very quick reaction, a knee-jerk reaction, descending into this lower site. And they've got nothing to report. Now they do. Nades are starting to throw flow through. All a little too quiet. A little suspicious. Simple second-guessing his decision and investment, but here they come. Through the smoke. Glaive is caught. It's Perfecto in the Astralis angle, and oh, they all melt at the hand of NaVi. Config started this round. Can he possibly close? Oh, 19 HP. They know where he is. Can Config really do anything else? Down to the one-on-one.
Bit of a heart stopper there for a moment, wasn't it? Config almost with the ace, 3 to his name, 4 over the line, and you can see what that timeout from Blade has immediately netted, the over-rotation. You talked about the knee-jerk reaction. It was very clear they wanted to respond to this immediately, but maybe starting to doubt that as they cut noise. This is something that Yanko highlighted on the telestrator, right? When they have the space, when they have the opening kills, they just chill, they use that experience and they wait. Now, cutting the audible with so much time forces the CTs to stay mobile, but one of the keys was, I think Electronic went around the world, right? He was making sure he was constantly active and around like this, ready to respond. But a close one here from Astralis, and they understand NaVi aren't out of the woods as far as their economy goes. Getting 4 kills in a round like that is going to keep them very humble. Can keep the pressure on, they can get another buyout, and finally going to equip Farley with the AWP to see what type of impact he can find. Deagle for Config, but I wouldn't imagine too many problems there. It's great to see him heating up. They're really going to need him in a matchup like this.
We might get that head-to-head now, Chad. Farley up against the greatest to ever do it on that AWP, head-to-head potentially.
Repositions come in very quickly. Look at Simple, he's just been peppered up here. We've seen Zip over towards the squeaky position, but also in Blame, doing a great job there, and Simple now has to shy away from any early fights. He wants to stay at least active with that util. But this is a great start from Astralis in round after round, right? They just want to weigh out all the protocol utility that we speak of, how important that is for the CT sides to lock down rushes, and now feigning this yard presence. It doesn't look like a huge commitment behind it. Maybe I'm wrong here. The bomb is coming.
Yeah, Glaive knows of Electronic's position. Saw that Molotov throw now, and oh, he tries it. Looks for answers, has nothing to report off the flash. Glaive's brain is whirring into action, processing what gaps he has. Allowed descent. And no resistance yet.
And no over-rotation from NaVi this time, even though they've lost the space. They don't have all the information they require, but with 45 seconds left, you can see them sitting on their haunches, quite passive position, still tucked in towards that top side. Bit still responding to anything that happened towards ramp, and now the aim map smokes come out main. Over towards the lockers as well, and they're going straight into the Lion's den.
Well, the Lion is wounded. Licking his wounds in hell. 25. He's ready and willing.
Time's such a problem here. Where's Farley?
Is he able to hit the first? Yes, no trade. Zipex yet to frag, and now Simple barreling towards him. That's a nice find. Bit still on the ramp, found behind the box. Blame does not have the time nor the resources. It's one. And that'll do. Nothing more for him to contribute. That is 7 already for NaVi.
I think they're expecting a bit more of a reaction there out of NaVi, right? Astralis had so many different search parties looking for fights. They were going towards Heaven and Hell. They were down Secret as well. And just winning the duels that were coming their way for the CTs. They didn't have to worry about too many trade potential. So easy stuff here, as they will now get the 7th on the board, but this is Electronic towards the lower side. And as they take the Heaven and Hell control, right, Electronic's already down here to respond with the bomb coming through. There wasn't enough time. They couldn't be diligent with their clears. And again, another round that is looking just to limit the economy. Tech9, 3 Glocks, and Blame on an AK. So you're going to have to stick with the Boulder here to see if he can crack this one open.
An evasive move for information. They do spot out the AWP in the warehouse.
Yeah, not in a rush about things, Astralis, right? The most exciting rounds we've had is when it's come with pace from them, but they're trying to do things by the book, and you can understand why.
Yeah, also some of the quickest rounds for NaVi are those pacey ones. That top hit reminded me of just that Perfecto quick 3K, round over, round done. Smokes out, different variation.
Again, they've been constantly flashing Electronic forward. Either he's been doing it himself or he's getting flashed forward, and there it is again. They just want the info, and this is what Counter-Strike's about at the highest level, right, is playing this info game. Glaive will get the space he's looking for because he's actually doing a fantastic job of bobbing and weaving past anything Electronic's throwing his way. He does have that territory now, but the lion's share of the fight is over towards lobby. If Glaive can find anything to activate, maybe a slip down the vent, but very careful with the jump spot here is Electronic. Spotted one, and I'm sure that's more than enough.
Yeah, very diligent stuff. Pulls the util out of Electronic. It's a micro victory. Battle on 2 different fronts. SDY towards the vent, and oh, Blame, the only AK, fills the feed first. Rotates on their way. Perfecto on that top side. Config's done a lot with the Glock, but it's Perfecto with 3 quick kills. A triple to defend the site. Now the rotates in. He has help. He doesn't need it. He does not need your assistance. 4 kills from Perfecto. And we have a 1-out CT half.
Gets scary there with the silenced M4, doesn't it? He gets 3 and he has to go to the USV. No bullets left, and deals with it casually here from Perfecto. This is what you want from one of your anchor players, just locking it down on his lonesome. You mentioned it, no help required, and Simple happy with that one. As another timeout now for Astralis, the Danes using their 3rd here within the first half of play, and I think they understand that they likely need to get up to about that 5 or 6 mark if they want to make this one competitive. Remember, this is their map choice, going up against NaVi. Second map of play, Mirage. We saw how that went for Astralis yesterday against Mouse. Maybe something they would like to forget. So if this series is destined to go to 3, Astralis, it feels like they have to win Nuke.
They have used 3 timeouts, Chad.
Yeah, that tells you how bad things are going, doesn't it?
It does, but also it makes me think maybe you got to stop giving Blade all this time to give NaVi just a little bit of a additional game plan. 30 seconds every time you call them. It's just elapsed now. We're back into round 12.
Now, look, but he needs to start finding some traction as far as kills go. Him and Zip currently at 1 apiece. It's not going to be enough here, especially with what Glaive did yesterday on Ancient. And Simple, ahead of the flames, takes the fight, takes a lick and gets away. His presence will be immediately noted here. Very light on util this time round, so it has to be a change of approach here from Astralis. And there you go, you say his name, Glaive comes through, the in-game leader, stepping up when they need him.
At pace, into the site. Perfecto still alive, and oh, Perfecto 1 and done. Blame ensures. Still presence though. NaVi. Off the back of this Astralis timeout, we do see advantage day in Denmark. Bomb to be planted here.
Saved in every other situation like this, and NaVi really going to test this one.
That's the question. I think Electronic is the litmus test. Just seeing how acidic this site might be, and a quick jiggle out of Zip. Looks like he is starting to meander away, baiting as much as he can, seeing if anything could come through.
I think it's just posturing here. Simple's so far away from the action. He could have made a way on over, but again, it just feels like simple rounds for Astralis, and they're not flashy because there was only 2 kills required and all of that, but Glaive, at least that's the positive we're looking to there. Able to get him on the board, even with the miss molly towards the backside, they were able to clean up any of the mess, and that'll be the 4th.
You know, Chad, that scoreboard looks kind of funky. Consider that they have 40 rounds. Astralis have 40 rounds, and the kills, I'll read them from bottom to top. 1, 2, 3, 7, 10.
Yeah, it's a bit odd how this one's gone down, and again, it's spotty rounds, nothing consecutive here. This was the opener. SDY got a little bit lost. Happens to the best of us.
It's not just me.
That radar, you try and make it as big as you can, and a little bit upset with that one there, Perfecto, but not the end of the world. 3 rounds left here in the first half of play.
Could make quite the T-half out of this if Astralis can string something together.
Yeah, they can break them here.
Simple knows it. Looks to take matters into his own hands with a more aggressive than usual maneuver. Looking to contest as the smokes are released.
He seems somewhat aware here. You can see 2 players just posturing for this. A nice limp smoke forward. Simple picks out and on the corner. A miss.
Whoa. A very uncharacteristic one. Does not make the same mistake twice. Config cut out of the round early and he's already long gone.
It's the freedom of the AWP, but you try and stay as agile as you can. Find a new place to roost. And Simple's going to do exactly that here. This rotation around the world to take another angle towards Yard.
They're still worried about him being on red container, and now he's about to poke out of his hole and pluck another from the pack. Simple wants blood. Farley puts hot lead instead. Surely Simple's done enough for this to get real awkward now. "40 seconds, they'll start to get a little apprehensive. SDY top side. It's been Perfecto most of the time on this top side dealing the damage. Can SDY deliver the close? 2R13, Zipex, Perfecto. It's SDY holding the line. And now Blame in a clutch that certainly has some legs to it. He's trying to get the ball down and well found. Bit denies and extends NaVi's defensive haul.
This is the problem, or maybe we could say the beauty of the way NaVi play. When it looks like they're going to win a round, they're going to win the rounds, right? Because the risks they weren't taken. SDY just says, oh, you know where I am? That's all right. I will bait off as much time. You can't spam me through the box. I don't need to take this fight. And then in combination with Perfecto, they're able to get 2 kills between them. And otherwise, if SDY it was hung out to dry, he probably goes down without a whole lot. So it's important for Perfecto to swing, give up his life, give up that fight.
Yeah, and that was also with that lobby control, right? CT's bit too quiet, bit too much action on Yard. Take it back and use that as an extension of your defense of that top side.
He's still in a position here to break NaVi for the last, and that's assuming that they don't just get a clean entry, right? You want a round from Astralis here where they just obliterate NaVi and take everything away. That means they might be able to post the 6 rounds on the board here, but starting to look a bit dire. Blame down to a Deagle. All here for Config, but I feel like there's a quiet anticipation of how this one's going to simmer on out.
Well, it certainly seems that NaVi have got their hearts set on a grand final. Skip the quarters entirely. First look of the Lanxess for NaVi, and it's a very good look. Glaive reveals himself. Does no damage, breaks that window. He is hanging out towards the lockers. Has the Berserker in tow. And it's Electronic again. The cuts play down 2 from Electronic. Doesn't even need assistance.
Feels like the round's done again here, right? They don't have a whole lot of space to work with. That was the scouting party. They had all the room and just dealt with taking care of business. Is Electronic and SDY? Well, they're coming his way. Creeps on out and, oh, can't connect the dots. We'll get one back here.
Still, look, again, this perfect trade potential. Perfecto, the first, Electronic swings out, and it's just Perfecto keeping the numbers, and Simple not allowed to finish with style.
Probably would have gone for a knife there if given an extra second or 2, but there it is. Double digits, first half of play, and this is the NaVi everybody wanted to see. As spoken about Astralis, the team on your screen right there are here to play spoiler. The same conversation to be had with Movistar Riders. You want to put yourself in their shoes, they're here to win the whole thing. Astralis have been in the playoffs of Cologne plenty of times, but they've never been in the grand final, and if this continues, that curse will too. It's crazy to think Glaive and Zip, some of the all-time greats, part of the greatest team ever to play this game, never been in a Lanxess grand final.
They just never quite had the magic when they needed it in the Cathedral. And at this point, yeah, you need more than magic, you need divine intervention.
Of course that was going to be the play. That's what worked for Astralis in a couple of their more bogey rounds, right? And this time just stalled out Electronic. We've seen this one work to great success before, and here they come into Perfecto, mowing him down, but Simple will actually get it.
Yeah, he's got a 16 to his name, just a casual 16-4 in Simple's 2022 arrival.
Just swatting them away here, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, Config, certainly no slouch on the D, but not allowed a moment to breathe, which is exactly what we have now. 11 already. A must-win map for Astralis if they want a competitive best of 3. It's going to be quite the hell of a second half, and that's where we're going after this break. Stay tuned.
Vil du have det?
Auk. Jeg skal lægge lige et af monologen, og så er jeg klar med Shadow Flash efter.
Okay, de bliver lidt delayet, så tror jeg.
Hvad gør du nu?
Flashen, ikke?
Eller shocks.
Ja, det er fint, det er fint. Jeg går lige så klar.
Forrester. Jeg er klar. Ui. Så flashes.
Flash blue.
Flasher. Flasher.
Kan godt være vand. Kan være vand.
Jeg ser intet. Intet udenfor, dreng. Jeg pusher.
Banger mig igennem.
Overlev, jeg bærer ham.
Yes. Overlev. Kom, blok noget.
Smukker døren.
Nice.
Jeg har bam.
Asger har bam.
Jeg har bam.
Står godt. Står godt.
Tjekker den. Et liv.
For eksempel.
Jeg går hjertet.
Du rammer også.
Jeg rammer midt. Jeg rammer midt.
Push hjerten, Kalle. Kalle pusher hjerten. Han er low, Kalle. Han kommer til at gå ud.
Kalle.
Sted vendt.
Den er.
Buller radio. Smukker noget hjerte.
Du er ikke smuk på A.
Kom ind der. Jeg går top ham her. Kom med under.
Jeg står i bam.
Stak under.
Jeg kan ikke stikke under nu.
Nej, det er fint. Kør ved noget ved. Så.
Lobby. Back lobby.
Oh my god, he gets it and gets away. And a no-scope from Farley. He denies entrance into the site. Oh, and a no-scope into drop. He hits the wall bang, makes a round out of it now.
Op. Hvor du siger?
Asger. Hvorfor fanden?
Hvor du vandt?
Det er Asger.
Knipper du mig igennem?
Lavede du valgte der, så?
Ja, det var fandme heldigt, det der.
Only NaVi can make a team like Astralis feel helpless in a semi-final, and that's where they find themselves, a must-win map, Nuke. A domain by which they found some of their greatest victories, but on that T side chat, they leave with 4 rounds. NaVi, silver platter to start this semi with a win on their opponent's pick.
4 rounds, none of them consecutive here, and that needs to change on the CT side. This is done and dusted. Map number 1 looking to be run away with here. 2 pairs of dual Berettas for the CT side, and a bit of util as well, deployed towards top side, looking for the space. Bit might find a fight here as, oh, Glaive had a look.
Simple bought a deagle on the T-pistol.
That's BM right there.
He is actually BMing them on the buy. That's the confidence, that's the swagger, and I don't blame them because they're getting away with
This
that.
is ridiculous.
Who does this?
This is ridiculous.
Who does this?
They literally have absolutely no idea that this is even possible. Glaive had an early look, and as soon as this door swings open, Astralis going to be scratching their heads. Boys, who was meant to be watching this?
Oh, man.
They can just plant in the smoke. This is so simple.
Like, they're pantsing them without a bullet fired. Pantsed in the public square.
There's no kit for this, so they're going to have to be quick.
Yeah, well traded. He does catch SDY. Glaive's Julies do something. Perfecto puts him out to 16, trying to catch Simple's frag haul. Blame's Julie spotted. Gap closed. Nice one out of Zip. That's Perfecto gone. Still pressure. Looking good for Astralis as they break back in and shatter NaVi on the retake. That is a recovery. Make no mistake.
Didn't feel like there's anywhere back in there. The fact that they're able to pull that one, huge stuff there from Astralis. You can see the contingent, the Danes, they've come a long way to see this one. And a pistol round that looked like it would have been one-way traffic for NaVi. It seemed way too simple here. Look, I love the detail, right? The smoke comes through, they plant in it, they're going to avoid any of the risk right there. But yeah, door swings open a bit, just looking the wrong way. Farley had impact yesterday on Nuke CT side and looking to do the same here now.
Really well handled.
Oh, this has to be their second consecutive round, surely. And as I say that, look what Simple's got in his hand. A Deagle first round, and AK the second.
This isn't Sasha Kosteliev, this is The Undertaker. It's his alter ego. On the semi-final, The Undertaker equips himself with the Deagle in the first and an armored AK into the second.
Yeah, thank you very much, Electronics. So, as you can set the big man up here to find a bit of damage, but damage is name of the game right now. Astralis looking to hold on to all of these M4s. They have 5 of which. All blown off. Simple having a bit of a look here. Nobody putting their head in the vice just yet. And Glaive, well, he's definitely been spotted.
Oh, this dance the two of them are doing. Both wise to the other's game.
I like the restraint on the use of smokes there. Astralis lobbing it out late. Blocking off that squeaky, sending Simple looking elsewhere. But speaking of elsewhere, Blame has so much information here. You can see it being relayed. Yeah,
he's got motor mouth right now. A lot of information now for the defense. And just on the slither, Simple, he's got their hopes and dreams with this AK-47. He's only working at 42 points of health, filing the off angle, and he shuts it down. They'll juggle the AK, but just locking it down on ramp. 2 to go. Zip will do it with config. And Astralis make a strong case early that Nuke is not done.
Well, this is what the Astralis fans around the world need to see if they want to have a competitive map. Didn't feel like we were going that way whatsoever, but that's fantastic stuff here. I'm a big Cobble fan myself. I can understand why. Let's get Mirage out, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right, guys? Nah, I think it's just me.
Make some noise if you want to remove Mirage.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's not just you, chat.
All right, there's a couple. So Simple, a Deagle, an AK into a P250. This is an interesting looking buy here from NaVi. Looks like it might be a top go. They're setting up U2 on the roof right now. Smoke ball towards yard to force out a rotation, but nobody budging just yet down towards that lower site.
Look, I know it's a little gun, but it's not about the size, it's about what he does with it. Molotov towards that top site. Config and Glaive forced to fight. Zip, can he do it again? Oh, just that slither. Doesn't provide the lethality. He's in limbo. Farley trying to bail him out. Does well. Finds the head. Keeps us level, if not an advantage, Astralis, albeit Config hanging on by a thread, by a nerve ending. 3 HP on the Dane. Blame responsible for yard. And he does find the back of the head. With Electronic dead, options very limited now. Two of the biggest brains on NaVi, though. You got Perfecto, known to clutch, Chad.
Need to see if he can crack this one open here on the jiggle. Gets the spot. Glaive too good this time round. Only his 4th kill, but that's impactful. And Config there onto Simple. Make it 7. Astralis bringing a bit of life to the Lanxess here. That's an awkward spree of rounds early. You think about how this is kicked off. The pistol round, free access to the site. In a 5-on-5 situation, the bomb goes down, they lose it. The second, they get the hero AK. They find, well, what feels like absolutely nothing. And then a bit more of a hodgepodge buy. It didn't look good, right? Galil's, a P250. Sure, the U2 was there. A couple of AKs were out, but they didn't have everything they desired. So NaVi allowing Astralis to work back into this game by their financial choices here. We'll be back down to just a couple of pistols. 4 Tech 9s and a Deagle with smokes alongside for the ride. Bit might have caught something there. You can see a lot of talking from Bit.
Yeah, they want to try and punish this rotation. Config, trajectory implies. Maybe Bit can build an image here. A little tag, bit of sound. Well, a lot of sound. And wow, Blame responsible for an awful lot here into the 19th. And caught, and it's transitioned back. He wasn't ready for multiple. That will put a weapon into enemy hands, and this half buy hinging on Config's contributions. 3 of them barreling towards him, hard shots. Perfecto runs him down as well. Oh no, they lost the lobby fight. Astralis needs someone, and it's Zipex that steps up. Just as NaVi may have been able to get that site, it's Zipex. Burrowed at the back of the site, finds the double that keeps us interested.
It was very loud about this. The comm came through. So Farley knows that both players are towards the lower site now. He can start to rotate over, but this misdirection from Bit here, there's still time on the clock. They need to isolate this fight.
Can he really do more? The Minister in the Cathedral, only one remains. Can Farley hold his nerve as we hold our breath? Yes, he can! Astralis closed the gap. Hard work from Zip. It's Farley with the cherry on top.
Yeah, you can see Zip there. He knows how much work he did, just couldn't recover the final kill. Had to hold his breath for Farley. Fortunately there, we didn't quite catch that flank coming through, because otherwise you know how that can play out. But big stuff here from Zip. Stepping up on the CT side. Fantastic round. Again, just against the pistols here, but we saw what Astralis were able to do with that in the first half, and so far, NaVi have no rounds on this T side. So if there's going to be as few and far between, maybe it's those type of rounds they'll have to turn towards. We get a timeout here, the second now for NaVi, and Blade again going to course correct the game plan here. Both teams should have full buys. Simple, the question will be an AWP, and it looks very unlikely here, so Farley will have the advantage in the head-to-head.
That's 2 timeouts from NaVi. Astralis burned through theirs.
Yeah, you don't really see too many nerves here from the Astralis guys either. Like, I understand that they're just working back into the game now, but there haven't been any like flubbed aim moments or too many missteps. They just had a hard go of things, right, on that first half. They were just getting beat down by the decision-making and positioning of NaVi. But now they get to dictate some of that pain.
2 of the best squads on Nuke right now.
7 in a row for Astralis.
Yeah,
Extended yesterday.
Maybe we're just getting a CT clinic on this defense, and on the offense is Bit. Hot pursuit, Glaive. Oh, that was the bomb. Does it go back down? What is this? Bit down the fence with utter pandemonium. He survives with 15 HP, and now there's a lot of pressure on this rotation. Simple's gonna be lurking to finish. And it's Bit that's not really satisfied. He wants more bloodshed before that bomb goes down. He combines with SDY. NaVi still looking to post their first T round here.
If Farley can get out, maybe consider a save. Blame's going to go down here, looking the wrong way. Simple. And I say get out. There's no way out. They've covered all the corners here. NaVi, Farley, you are dead for the world. From the top rope, the Undertaker gets the final and doesn't even want the AWP. They're happy to operate with AKs here, NaVi.
Well, that's a confidence booster right back, and it does really break the backs of Astralis.
This is the one, right?
What was he doing?
The bomb gets dropped to him because Glaive gets that kill. Look at this. I'll take that. Thank you very much. And I'll take the kill as well. But this second one, the rotation already came to lower. That was Zip's kill to find. And Bit, the second frag right there, enabled the round for NaVi. Otherwise, the bomb would have been loose in the vent and likely no way back in. So Bit with some impact here to get NaVi their first T round, the 12th posted. Look at what it's done, the ramifications here.
It's a product of that 1v1 as well with the Tech 9s.
Exactly. Farley had a lot of cash there, but they didn't want to hedge behind him and get him to buy in with a hero or for a rifle.
Has he lost a smoke? We're just finding that lineup. Yeah, there's one on the floor.
It's a new role in teams, knowing every single nade across the entire map, apparently. So SDY, he's going to take that mantle, same as we saw Zip in the first half of play. But hard to see how Astralis can get too much done here now. 4 Deagles and a USP, no armor behind it, no util for fights. And NaVi will soon discover where they lie. It's not even a stack of too many players. Yeah, Config and Blame, heavy hitters towards Yard, sure. But they're actually going into a site that traditionally you wouldn't want to on an eco, right? Going into a top site, you'd be worried about the top heart, on the rafters, and those are the places they mollied. So simple stuff, clean stuff from NaVi here.
Safe to say that playing the percentages has continued into the second half.
Yeah, you know, once upon a time we would have spoken about it on this map going always towards Yarda on the anti-ecos and taking the more long-range duels when you know that you have the better weaponry. But with how good people's utility is and how well-oiled some of these executes can be, you can even hit the burrowed in sights. And well, Simple again, he's just enjoying being up top and looking down on his opponents.
Yeah, he has ascended. It seems that returning to Cologne and returning to the Lanxess, where he has done some of his craziest BS, it's given him a new lease of life.
I imagine he likes it here.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the first time we saw him in the Lanxess arena, he was wearing a Liquid jersey.
It's come a long way, hasn't it?
Hasn't he?
We talk about Simple, we have to talk about the hand the king here, Electronic and Simple. Trying to set themselves up to be the first players ever to win 3 Cologne trophies. No one's managed to pull that task off before. And we mentioned the collision course with FaZe on the other side. Well, they're also trying to set some history of their own. Now, NaVi appear to be taking care of their part of the bargain. And it's fast again towards Ram. Zimp's under a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, he's got his gun out in time, but gives it up. Unwilling to take that unfavorable fight. They already have so much potential with Bit in that vent as well.
They force the rotation. Traditionally, we see it by the smoke walls. Yeah, this way, just with ramp pressure, it's going to do the same thing. They don't have info on a key component. And speaking of key component, Bit again, door swings open. He'll take Zip down one more time.
Yeah, Zip's having a nightmare up against Bit. The rest should fall into place now for NaVi.
What a nuisance he's been around that vent. I think they have to save.
Whoa. Tasted their own medicine, right? The one frag into a exploding bomb.
Slightly different circumstances as well, because NaVi can be freed up to chase. We're towards the tail end of the game. This is for 14, right? Simple's even looking here. We'll have to deal with config. Now, this is a reverse roll. He's going to be looking up at his opponent for once.
That makes no difference, Chad. Up or down. Can they hold on to the remaining 3? Certainly Farley, he is the VIP. With that AWP, he will preserve. NaVi up to 14. Astralis options starting to run thin. And in this holy cathedral, in attendance tonight, it's been great to meet some of you. It is always nice to see the Cathedral brings all of the very best of Counter-Strike's fandom in celebration of it. Look how quickly Zipex is caught out by Bit's vent presence. He really had no idea. No idea.
That's a jump scare moment right there.
For real.
Swing open the door and someone standing on the other side. Look, it's an exit kill from Simple, but it's still important in the context of this game. To make things a little bit harder for the Danes here, and they're really up against it. They played against FaZe, the other title contender throughout the tournament. They got 2-0'd. So NaVi want to dispatch them in the exact same way. But this has got the vibe that this is the undercard. This is just warming us up for tomorrow's proceedings.
Quick, Simple. He's really ferocious today. Straight into the ramp. Zip again, punching his desk. And Farley has taken down the Undertaker. That gives him something to work with. Config, a lot of info. Knows Electronic was towards that drop, and Bit is once again trying to worm his way down behind Mr. Rossinder. Glaive gets him. A little premonition, a little awareness there. Advantage Astralis, Chad. That bomb will not be going down anytime soon.
They're out of smokes here as well, so hard to operate. We'll have to wait for this play from SDY. He could still change the tide of this round, but this will give Astralis life. And with a couple of MP9s of Famis in the mix.
Safe, just on the clear.
SDY's not going to find anything throughout all of this march. It's going to give them another avenue of assault, but this is where they came from, so condemned now towards the lower site.
Confirmation of still presence up in the rafters too. Is SDY still nothing to report on his full sweep? 38, Config not ready. Oh, but SDY, he's not happy with one, he nearly takes 2. Blame flanking the flanker.
The respect here, Glaive's letting it go down. Problems now.
It was in the palm of their hands. Astralis need this, taps the head. Electronic still up. They are low though. And SDY has to do it all in the 1v2. Catches Farley, can play with the doors now. Blame F in the clutch, looking for his 3rd. Quick on the hunt is SDY, he's not ready! And SDY holds his nerve with a clutch for NaVi. 3 kills in the round. The stand-in steps up.
It's got to feel good for SDY. Gets plugged into this team, gets to play with some of the best of all time. Sitting on the stage here in the Lanxess, you think back just a couple of months. This was not in his future. This was not in his future at all. And now, making Astralis look silly. Look at that impact right there around that Astralis needed to keep them in this match. And SDY shatters their dreams, their choice, their pick. about to be a single-digit drubbing here. NaVi have come to play today.
Yeah, we might have to start changing the colors of Cedar Creek from the blue color scheme to the black and yellow. NaVi 15-8. Once again, Beard is up to no good. Looking to manage some mischief on that descent down the vent. Zip has been getting bullied. There's no other word for it. He has called upon the support of Farley on that scout. Takes a good chunk at a simple woof. Clotheslines him on the way back out.
Add that one to the entry tally. Now 6 for Simple here. Just opening, closing, do it in all.
25-9 in the first map of his semi-final. He's looking his usual self and then some.
I think we all know which way this one's going.
Yeah, they're on the ropes, battered and bloody. Slave tries to be the playmaker. It's one and done. Perfect trades again from NaVi, maintaining this advantage. Oh, Config has gone away with murder. But you gotta fight Simple, and look at this. Everyone is scared of him.
It's just like pulling teeth here. Everybody's falling at the wayside right now. Just blame Zip. Left to get this one done. What are you meant to do?
You underhand a molly, and you get ready for a quick break outside. Because there's so little for Astralis to work with into this. Already that bomb ticking to secure the first for NaVi. It's just blame. 2 to find. Very light on time, and there you have it. NaVi dominant in the debut in the Cathedral.
Casual here from NaVi, and this is what you want to see. Tomorrow, a best of 5. They want to be there. They want to be on that collision course with FaZe for the world #1 spot. But this is Astralis' choice. They're going to have a hard talk if they want to continue their run here in the Lanxess.